The other day, we compared decimals and fractions. And you needed, when we compared decimals and fractions, I told you guys you needed, what you should have done with a fraction was convert it to a decimal because that's your best way of putting it in order. Well, when we have when we only have fractions and we want to put them in order, what is it that you think that we need? What do we need in order to put them in order? You need a common denominator. You need a number on the bottom needs to be the same. So, like, for example, if you are comparing like 7 over 12 versus 7 over 4, you can't compare those because they don't have common denominators. Okay, you could, but it's best to find a common denominator. Now, I'm going to show you how to find common denominators, and it has to do with multiples. When you're comparing fractions, first check their denominators. When the fractions have the same denominator, they are called like fractions. For example, 6 over 7 and 4 over 7, they're like fractions. When two fractions have different denominators, they are unlike fractions. For example, 7 over 10 and 1/2 are unlike fractions. They're not comparable. However, this one, we compare them. They are like fractions. So if they're like fractions, it's really easy to compare them. Just look at the top number. Which top number is bigger? So it's like this. If they are like, it's really, really easy. But if they're unlike, then it gets a little bit more complicated. Okay. So, the next problem. Are they like or unlike? They are like, so all we do is compare the top numbers. Bam. Again, they are like. 5's bigger than 4. I know it's extremely hard. Okay. Now, to compare unlike fractions, first rename the fractions so they have the same denominator. We have to make the unlike fractions two like fractions. We have to make them like fractions. Now, in order to do that, we get a common denominator. There really is only one rule for fractions. Whatever you do to the top of fractions, you have to do to the bottom. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. Both ways. It's the same thing. So if we have two fractions, it says Ray has 2/3 of a cup of nuts. He needs 3/4 of a cup to make cookies. Does he have enough? Now, first of all, just like when we talk about that testing, understand the question. It's not asking us which one is bigger, is it? What's the question? First of all, understand the question. What is the question? Yeah. Does he have enough? So what is our answer going to look like? Jeremiah. Our answer is going to be yes or no. So make sure you answer the question that's asked. But there is going to be some math involved in order to figure out whether or not it's yes or no. So we have these two numbers. We have to compare 2/3 to 3/4. Well, there's a problem. I can't compare those two because they do not have a common denominator. What would a multiple, now we're going multiples, numbers that we can multiply, what can we multiply 3 by to get a common denominator for 3 and 4? We could get 12. We can make 2/3 something over 12, and we can make this one something over 12. Well, what do I multiply 3 by to get 12? 4. So whatever we do to the bottom, we got to do to the top, and this becomes 8. Whatever we do to the bottom here, we got to do to the top, and this becomes 9. So to answer our question, we're not done. some of you are going to look at this and you're going to go, okay, well, this one's bigger, 3/4, and you're right 3/4. That doesn't answer the question. Remember, our question needs to be yes or no. This is what he needs. This is what he... No, sorry, the other way around. This is what he has. This is what he needs. Does he have enough? No, he doesn't. No. There's my answer. Trevor has 1/3 cup of soil. He needs 1/4 cup to fill a small planter. Does he have enough? Well, there's only one way to find out. We got to get a common denominator. Okay? Again, we're going to use a common denominator of 12. So 1/3 is going to become something over 12. How about a 4/12? And 1/4 is going to become something over 12. We're going to make it, because this is times 3 here, this is going to be 3. This is what he has. This is what he needs. Does he have enough? Yes. So our answer is a big yes. Question? That's a good question. Do you have to do the math? Yes, I want you to do the math. I want you to show me that you know how to do it. I don't want you guessing yes or no. Because sometimes, I'm going to tell you, the questions they're going to give you aren't going to be this easy. Okay? These are really easy. They're not going to be quite that easy. Yes? Good question. Yes, the denominator could be 24. You could make the denominator anything as long as it's a common denominator. Okay? For example, let's say we had a problem that was comparing 7/12 and 3/6. My common denominator would be 12. So actually this one right here would never change. But this one would. And we would just make this a 6/12. Yes? No, absolutely not. Nope. Common numerator, you meaning on the top? That's not, no. Nope. You're getting into talking about multiplying and dividing fractions. And we're not doing that yet. We're not doing that yet. We will do it after the winter break. This is different. Okay? Don't confuse yourself. One step at a time, okay? Now, it's also going to have questions like this. We have to put these in order. 4/5, 2/3, and 1/3. We need to find a common denominator. What would a common denominator for 4/5, 2/3, and 1/3 be? 15. So 4/5 is going to become something over 15. And then 2/3 is going to become something over 15. And 1/3 is going to become something over 15. What goes here? 12. What goes here? 10. What goes here? 5. Answer the question that's asked. Don't say that in order it's 5/15, 10/15, and 12/15. Answer the question that's asked. The question that they asked, put those in order. So my answer is 1/3, 2/3, 4/5. There's my answer. Okay? I guess that's good enough. That's enough. Your homework we're gonna have is page 200, 10 to 44 even. I do want to show you guys one other thing. Let's say we had 4/5, 2/3. Let's say instead of 1/3, we had something like 4/7. This is going to help you on your homework. Never mind. Oh, now it's not erasing. That's the problem. Okay, let's say instead of that you have 4/7. Common denominator. What? 35. 3 doesn't go into 35. You have to find something that all three of them will go into. No. $105. How'd you figure that one out? You multiplied all of them. So if you multiply all three of these, 1, 2, 3, you will get a common denominator. It's going to be big, but it will work. So you got 5 times 7, which is 35, times 3 would be 105. So then you got to go, okay, 4/5 is going to be something over 105. That's a big multiplier, isn't it? But you still can do it. All right? So again, your homework is going to be page 200, 10 to 44. Oh, and now those all erased. Awesome.